Hi, I'm Mark, and this is your primer on common sense gun control. Common sense gun control, you know, that really sounds good to me. I think common sense gun control, I think I want that. Common sense gun control sounds good to me. And what a lot of people hope is that it sounds good to the general public. Common sense. Common meaning widely understood. That would be something that would be widely understood and widely known. Common. Something very common. And sense. Anybody that has sense must be pretty smart. Common sense gun control. Who could be against that? Except that common sense gun control doesn't mean common sense anything to the people that blather about that continuously and have for the decades. Common sense gun control to people that use that phrase commonly means we want everybody to be disarmed so we can feel safe. That's what common sense gun control is to them. Period. No matter what objection they make, when you say that to them, and no matter what they say, well, we don't mind this, we don't mind that. No, what they want is they want everybody disarmed. They want America disarmed so they will feel safe. Common sense gun control. Common, widely understood. But sense should include understanding and knowing that within our Constitution, in the framework of our Constitution, in the Bill of Rights, is the right of every American citizen to keep and bear arms, like this handgun. So in that, there must be something that has something to do with people actually possessing firearms, right? Because all of those people that talk about wanting common sense gun control surely want us to all be able to have the guns that we have an inherent right to have protected by our Constitution, right? No, it's not right. Common sense gun control then means disarm everybody, and then we'll all be better and we'll be safe. Here today is what common sense gun control really is. I'm going to define it for you. I'm going to demonstrate it for you. I'm going to show you where you get a visual on it. Common sense gun control. Understanding that sense means I know that in our Constitution we have a right to keep and bear arms, to own this gun that I have or other guns, to carry these guns for self-defense, to defend our homes, our families, to defend us against an intrusive and tyrannical government, which we hope we'll never have to deal with on that basis. But that's what it's there for. Shall not be infringed. Sense means I know that, and I have to define shall not be infringed. That means nobody takes it away, nobody interferes with it. So what is common sense gun control for real? Here it is. If I'm going to participate in common sense gun control, the first thing I'm going to do, common sense gun control, is I'm going to select a gun. Now, I may have to go to a friend, I may have to go to some experienced shooter that I know who is a friend, I may have to go to a firearms class, or I may have to go to multiple gun stores to have people show me guns, to explain guns to me, and help me select the gun based on the criteria that would be most helpful for somebody who does not know how to shoot. If I already know how to shoot, I'm going to go select a gun based on what I already know, and I'm going to take that gun and I'm going to make the best use of it that I possibly can under common sense gun control. After I get my handgun, I've settled on a handgun. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to learn everything I can about that handgun. Even if I'm experienced as a shooter, under common sense gun control, it means I'm going to learn how to use this gun. I'm going to learn how to manipulate it, use it. I'm going to learn the safety rules of this gun. I'm going to learn how to take it apart. I'm going to learn how to rack the slide. I'm going to learn how to pull the trigger. I'm going to learn how to do all the things. I'm going to learn how to grip the gun. I'm going to learn this gun. I'm going to learn it the very best that I can learn it, learn everything I can about it before I even take it to the range. I may then go out and I may start and get in a pistol class, or I may take private lessons from an instructor or an experienced shooter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that before I put this gun to use, before I do anything with this gun, personally, as far as use goes, I'm going to learn everything I can learn about it first, under common sense gun control. Also, what I'm going to learn is the difference in the types of guns, the sizes of the gun, what difference the size makes. I'm going to learn about the different types of sights, iron sights. I'm going to learn about red dot sights. I'm going to learn about which type of sight would be best for me to start with as a new shooter. As an experienced shooter, if I'm going to make a transition, if I've been shooting with iron sights and I'm considering a red dot sight, I'm going to learn everything I can about that red dot sight. In this case, the first thing I'm going to be dealing with, as if I'm a new shooter, is I'm going to be learning how to get on target with the gun that I've selected as my first handgun, under common sense gun control. To learn to get on target with my gun, I'm not going to just set targets out here and start blasting away at 10, 15, 20, 30 yards. I'm going to get right up on the target and I'm going to see where I'm shooting. I'm going to get as close as I can. I'm not going to let my pride deal with me in any way. I'm going to get right up to the target and I'm going to learn how to responsibly get on target and keep on target as I gradually and progressively move back. I'm going to make my adjustments in increments, little by little. I'm going to adjust incrementally until I can get that out to about 20 feet. And if I can't do that the first time, I'll do it over, and I'll do it over and over until I can do that right there with the gun that I've selected. Also, while I'm learning all about the gun, learning how to get on target, learning how to shoot it, getting help from experienced shooters, maybe taking classes, getting on target like I did right there, I'm also going to be learning about holsters. When I settle on a holster, if it's an inside the waistband, outside, maybe both, I'm going to learn how to use that holster. I'm going to learn how to use it safely, and I'm going to do it in repetitions, both at the range shooting, I'm going to do it at home, dry firing, or simply just practicing drawing over and over and over again before I take the gun out and actually use it, carry it for self-defense. Over and over and over and over until I'm so confident with that. I'm so used to it that it's second nature. Both working at home, doing dozens or even hundreds of repetitions without ammo, coming to the range and doing this right here. So I've chosen a gun based on all kinds of information that I've gathered from experienced shooters, from maybe classes, from others. I have learned all about that gun. I have taken that gun and I've gotten on target with it. I'm practicing with that gun in a holster, both at home, dry firing, and without firing at all, without just drawing repetitiously with the holster, and then coming to the range and doing what I'm doing here, drawing and firing and holstering, drawing and firing and holstering, over and over and over until it's second nature, under common sense gun control. After I've done all those initial things under common sense gun control, which is what I'm doing, I'm responsibly taking and acquiring a gun, learning a gun, using a gun, and then I'll advance to using it under various scenarios. First of all, I've made sure that I can reasonably hit what I'm shooting at. That's for not only the importance of the effectiveness of the gun, but for the safety of myself, anybody else that's around me, anybody else that might be around some target. I've got to be able to hit what I'm shooting at under common sense gun control. After I've learned to shoot and shoot pretty well and know how to get on target and am confident in what I'm shooting at, then I'll begin to shoot multiple targets. That's what I'll learn to do next under common sense gun control. And in all of this, during all this time, I'll be learning how to use my gun safely. That will start out from the very get-go. How to work with people, how to work in a class scenario, how to work on a range like this with other people, moving and shooting with people back over here, and then turning with the gun to go back with the gun empty. I'll be learning to do all those things. I'll be learning all the gun safety rules and be learning to practice those and make them second nature under common sense gun control. I'll be doing all this knowing with my sense, common sense, that the right to do this, the right to own these, the right to have these, the right to defend myself with these is framed into our Constitution. An inherent right that's protected by that Constitution under common sense gun control. But for this video, I have a little bit more. Under common sense gun control, I can do all those things that I did with a handgun with the most hated gun among all those that use the term common sense gun control, the AR rifle, and be just as responsible under our Second Amendment, under the inherent right to keep and bear arms, under common sense gun control. So I've got some noise over here. There's a work crew over here. We're using some heavy machinery, and there's some music going on. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you've just heard the definitive primer on common sense gun control in America, even with the most hated weapon of gun control activists, the AR rifle. With any gun that I ever own, with any of the guns I own now that I'll pick up in the future, that I'll purchase in the future, I'll handle just like I handled those others that I showed you just a few minutes ago. Every gun that I pick up, I'll learn first. I'll learn the mechanism. I'll learn how it feels. I'll learn the most effective grip on it. I will find out everything I can find out about that gun. I'll manipulate it at home multiple times before I ever bring it to the range. I'll bring it to the range. I'll train with it and I'll practice with it permanently as long as I own it. Because that's what real common sense gun control is. In a country that embedded in our Constitution is the Second Amendment that guarantees that protection of that right to keep and bear arms to protect ourselves. Common sense gun control. Today, what you've seen in this video is what it really is. Not what the blathering liberals say it is when you hear it used over and over and over again on news programs, from politicians, from activists that want everybody disarmed so they feel safe. You can feel safe and you can keep and bear arms under common sense gun control. I'm Mark, and I'll see you again soon in a Christian Gun Owner video.